Interpreter is Damien Evans. Now, the government will start mass testing for coronavirus from next week. This comes as the number of positive cases rises to 216. Mark Namaswa opens up our broadcast tonight with that story on the latest figures. And of course, what was said earlier on in the press briefing by the Health CAS, Dr. Mwangangi. Let's take a look at that story.
The coronavirus pandemic has now spread beyond the initial Nairobi, Kwale, Mombasa and Kilifi hotspots.
For example, we have about 101 cases in Nairobi, 34 in Mombasa, 10 in Kilifi, 6 in Mandera, 7 in Kiambu, 5 in Nakuru, 1 in Kisii, 2 in Uasin Gishu, 1 in Vihiga, 1 in Kwale.
And as the next course of action, besides sanitization, social distancing and partial lockdown of initial Nairobi and the coastal strip, mass testing will commence next week. Phase 1 targets 12,000 people. Quarantine zones and high population density areas are among places that will take first priority.
As an example, Kibera has been identified, and we shall also have prioritized testing in that cluster. In Mombasa, we are deploying 1,000 testing kits to Kenya Ports Authority, KPA. And this is based on the risk of transmission that has been identified from our monitoring teams. And the same will happen in Mandera and Siaya counties.
However, it turns out that as more people are confined at home, for some reason, cases of domestic and gender-based violence are rising. Some estimates indicate that these cases could have risen by as much as threefold.
That this violence is perpetrated by close relatives and guardians. And therefore, fellow Kenyans, even as we address this between the various government departments, we are calling on Kenyans to focus on fighting the virus and to handle the disputes within the laid down civil structures and devoid of any violence.
So far, a total of 216 people in Kenya have tested positive for COVID-19. 9 have lost their lives as the government agencies round up contacts and scramble to pin down the virus, arguably the most lethal after the 1918 Spanish flu. Kenya's latest 8 positive cases include 5 Kenyan nationals and 3 foreigners.
6 have a history of travel from Dubai, the UK, Pakistan, Zambia, and Comoros.
Globally, the United States of America continues staring ahead of the pack with over 500,000 infected and over 20,000 people dead, followed by Italy, Spain, and France. Curiously, China seems to have contained the spread of the virus, but Africa, feared to be the least prepared continent, is yet to experience the full force of the pandemic. Mark Namaswa, KTN News.